The money. Yes, investment 101. For those that have finished taking their tea, let's come around. Let's come around so that we'll thank you. So that we'll be able to benefit so much from today. Let's round up on our tea. Thank you. folds. Please, who knows maths? Quickly. 100 folds. Ma? From 50. No, just 5 billion. At Naira now. I want by the end of next year, because I want to test my target. So I want to reap 100 folds. So yeah, about me few zeros. Thank you. I think it's 5 billion. So by the end of next year, just as I just want 10 fold. I mean, 100, just as he said now. Abraham sowed in the land and he reaped 100 folds. So if, for instance, now I am 50, I'm 50 now, 50 million now. So by the end of we buy, you are not up to 50 in this meeting. Yes. So we are going to do it as Thanksgiving because we have to honor God too. You understand? So as I'm coming to drop my tithe, how much will be my tithe? 5. So when I'm coming to give my tithe, I will now buy Ashwebi. For no, not everyone that comes. You people are there to see that God has done it now. Abi? Or you won't be there. What will be our color team? Yes. Or we'll do it together. So by this time next year, when our tithe, you people are thinking about it. Yes, that will be Trillionaires Club. Hallelujah. Trillionaire Bariga. Leg. Or are we already pregnant? Let's sit down first. Let's sit down. Let's give them this time. And we can't be, I said stand up and welcome. People are dragging leg as if you have taken it. Yes. Those are the trillionaires. Have you ever seen a trillionaire? Yes. He's a child of God. He's an investment banker and he's going to be teaching us. He has over 14 years of investment banking history. He has helped many people become millionaires. At least I know a lot of people that he has helped to become millionaires. So he'll be introducing us to the basis of financial literacy. Don't think you will learn everything.
Good. We are still in the morning, David. Good morning, everyone. My name is OLORI, and I'll be giving you some experiences and independence to a state in life that you have a financial independence. And do you have the slides open? Before I go to, because this font might be small, I think the slide flow with the direction of what I'm passing across. Thank you. So before we start, I'm going to bring a context of the Bible and bring it to lifestyle.
So that counts with them. The man who had received 5 bags of gold brought the other 5. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 5 bags of gold. See, I have gained 5 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. The man with 2 bags of gold also came. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 2 bags of gold. See, I have gained 2 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge. You have received it back with interest. So take the bag of gold from him and give it to the one who has 10 bags. For whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. That's the last verse. And throw that worthless servant outside into the darkness where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. This is the word of the Lord.
Okay, we understand that text properly. I was asking us, what do we want? Everybody was saying 10 million, 5 million, 50 million, and the likes. And firstly, I want you to know that the act of investment is godly. 2, is that growing your investment is scientific. What did I say? What did I say? So if I don't have money now, and somebody now tell me now, and I say that, you know what, I'm going to have 10 billion in my account in another 2, in the 3, 4, 4, 4, 5. It's what? Godly, number 1. Number 2, it is what? Scientific. Number 3 is that it has to be intentional. You get my thing? It has to be what? Intentional. Then number 4, if you put all this together, all these buckets, number 1, investment is godly. Number 2, investment growth is scientific. Number 3, you should be intentional about doing it. Number 4 is that consistency will enable you to achieve your goal of financial sufficiency in your life. So let's move on. I'm going to share with you some statistics that when you read it, you feel, is this real? But in our lifetime, we have people that are graduates, that are knowledgeable, and they don't have investment knowledge. So it's not exclusive to other people. There are people here that are graduates. There are people in life that have gone to their professor, but they don't understand investment. So I'm going to be teaching us the basics of what to do with the little that we have. You know that passage said, God gave somebody 5, you have, it will grow. But if you do nothing, that means you will be like that person that God said, you know. Okay, so slide 3, please. Okay, fantastic. We have only 20 by EFI, Electronic Financial Institution. I say that. We are over 200 million people in Nigeria. And that data shows that 24% of Nigerians are financially literate. That means it's not karakata that I'm buying rice, I'm selling. That is not being financially literate. It means that we have a lot of people that are doing investment in Nigeria in a very, very wrong way. Number 2, yes, 55% of Nigerians lack basic financial knowledge. That means there is a whole lot of people in Nigeria that lack what? Financial knowledge. There is one thing we call MPR. We call it monetary policy rate. That rate and inflation, they used to work in tandem. Similarly, that MPR is like a gauge that the government sets regularly that banks will now follow to give loan. For example, let's assume that the MPR is 28%, or let's assume it is 16%. That means that is the rate at which bank can give you interest for investment. Abi? Now, somebody, one room and parlor self-contained microfinance bank that you don't know will now come to you and say, you know what, I'm going to give you 40%. You know that that investment will crash. Do you know why? Government has set a threshold that this is the rate which you can invest. Just like the way we do oil here, that this is the price that government has set for oil per barrel. So every petrol station, you said below or above this point. That means maybe difference will be maybe 2 naira, 3 naira difference. If somebody tells you that there's his own petrol station, you get petrol for 5 100 per liter. Don't go. Did you hear me? Don't go, because when you put it in your generator, it will spoil. When you put it in your car, it will spoil. Did you understand? Somebody now tells you that his own fuel is 1,500 per liter. Will you go? Eh? That is the reason why government set a threshold for investment rate. So it goes to show that it goes to show that the reason why we have so many 419s thriving is because we don't have knowledge of finance in Nigeria. Do you understand? Another statistic here says 71% of Nigerian adults do not have bank accounts. 71% of Nigerians do not have bank accounts. So how do you now invest when you don't have bank accounts? It addresses some issues in Nigeria. We have what we call fiscal policy, and we have what we call monetary policy. Those two policies will affect how economic work. But in Nigeria, we have more than 60% of cash that we have direction about monetary policy. That's why it doesn't really work, because we are cash-based economy. So the last one that I want to talk about is that 80% of Nigerian youth that you see them voting for like this, 80% of them lack financial literacy. So it goes to show that there is knowledge gap in terms of how we manage our finances. That means the reason why we are here, that we could not go beyond what we have, despite the little we have, is because of that knowledge gap, which I'm going to try to, bridge this morning, or at least reduce that gap. So I speak that financial literacy decision, when I say make informed decision about your savings, about your investment, about borrowing, and about what? Spending. If you have the knowledge of finance, you'll be able to make a decision around your savings, around your investment, around spending, and around your borrowing. Basically, whatever we'll be speaking will be in this. We are going to talk about budgeting. We're going to talk about savings. We're going to talk about investing, how to manage your debt, and retirement planning. It's very, very important, retirement planning, because all of us, my age, won't depend on people to live. Amen. Okay. Before we go into how to plan, please, slide 3, please. Slide 3, please. Media. No? Okay, fine. Leave it there. I try as much as possible to put infographics to it so that we understand what it means. Because I'm looking at my coverage, so that if you don't plan your life very, very well, or you are not financially literate, look at that man pushing. The guy is trying to push a big whatever. Abby, it's going from the bottom here like this. Abi, do you all hear Yoruba here? Okay. My mother used to say that when we are growing up, when you see area boys shouting on the road that they want to collect money from mother, look at the amount of energy he's putting on how to get money from that kind of. But because he's lazy, he wants to extract more energy to help little. So this person is pushing it. It's pushing something from a low place to high. That person will continuously struggle to pull that thing up. Let's do a reverse position. Let's say it's coming down. Do you know that he might not even need to throw that stone? The stone will come down by itself now. That means you need to exert too much energy because he didn't do what we have said, that service is godly, scientific, intentional, and what? Systematic. So if you don't plan your life, if you don't have a good service plan, we may end up like this guy. He would have used little energy to achieve his aim. He will be sweating now because the road is high and it's pushing. So if you are not financially literate, or you are poor in terms of financial literacy, number one, your debt will be so big. Are you with me? Number two, you have so much stress. Are you getting me? Number three is that you are vulnerable to be scammed. Abi? Like I said the other time, somebody will just come to your shop and say, Mama, this is our investment plan. You give me 20,000 naira every week, and I'll give you 40%. Run, no. Did you hear me? Run, no. The way to judge investment, the simple litmus test is to use Nigerian Treasury bills. Nigerian Treasury bills 1 year is doing about 19% now. If anybody comes to me to give me investments that is more than 19% or 21%, I will ask questions. For who you see? Because government has set a threshold of 1 year Treasury bill to be around 18, 19. So if the investment is 21%, I will do it because it's not too far from. If the investment is 18%, I will do it because it's not too far from the gauge that government has set. If it's 12%, I'll just mamoju. If it's more than 25%, I won't do it because possibility of losing your funds is very, very high. Then the next idea is that you have a delayed milestone. For example, somebody who is 60 years of age that has worked in a prestigious company, and at that age does not have a place to put his head or a place to call his home. So it means that the things that you should be able to achieve early in life, you achieve it later in life because you don't plan yourself very, very well. Are you getting me? So after this class and after this lecture, I don't want us to be like this person that is struggling to pull this stone from point A, which is the lowest point there, to the uppermost point there. Next slide, please. Okay. I just put all this I've just discussed in another bucket of consequences. The reason I'm doing these consequences so that we will know that this life is all about cause and effect. If you do this, this is what will happen. You know. So if you do it in the right way, this is what will happen. So I'm just putting the consequences in another bucket so that we understand the implication. Of course, I have financial consequence, which I've said around. You have increased debt because you don't plan yourself. You have overdraft. Your bank account to run into debit, and what banks like is to charge you for those debits. If your money run out of Your only runs, it's automated. Print, you just see another pam, 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 pam. That's what we call personal consequence, which I've talked about. There is social consequence. You see people beg, that you feel, how do you manage what you have? You've seen some football stars. You've seen some, there used to be one man, everybody knows him, Mike Tyson, during his 8 days when he was fighting. You hear he's fighting about, they will give him $100 million for this fight, and they will win, and will win, and fast forward to now, he has wasted all those money. So you see people begging. There is another effect that I've written here, which is consumer spending, decrease in productivity, and it goes and it goes and it goes on and on like that. So how do we address this issue? I said that we are going to do 5 things the other time, talking about budgets, savings, investments, and lifestyle retirement plan. So we are going to start with budgeting now. How can we save the little that we earn? If we want to save, I say that it must be intentional. If you don't have a budget for it, you will squander it, no matter how much you earn. Are you with me? Whether you earn, there is a room for you to save, no matter what it is. Save. When I was serving in Kasina, many of the couples, we are wasteful. We will just be complaining that this salary is too small. This salary is too small. Then by the time you finish this service, you know that this money is something. Then we used to collect maybe 18,000 or 20,000 naira then. All of us will be saying it's small, it's small, it's small, it's small. When I finish service, the next month, I didn't see a lot. Then I know that reality has done on me. So no matter how little it is, just try and save something. So we need to start with budgeting. Budgeting is the process of creating and managing financial plan. And the budget can be daily, depending on what you want to achieve. Components of budgeting, we have income. And as all of us are seated here, we have fixed expenses. What did I say? We have what? Fixed expenses. We have, whether you like it or not, we will eat. Our children will eat. Abi? And we have some expenses that we can look away. If I have a budget for a data now, I can start to look away. Are you getting me? If I'm at home now, maybe I have 3 pieces of meat left to eat. Instead of you to say, okay, go and buy more. Do you understand? I can show you a particular period of time. So it means that there are some expenses that are fixed. There's no way about it. You pay your rent. That one is constant. If you don't have a house. And there are some expenses that are variable. It is you that will not be able to determine which one is fixed and which one is variable. Thank you. Next slide, please. Next. Okay. The rules of budgeting. Whatever we have, And I want, if you do this apportionment, you have done it now, eh? And you do it religiously, you have savings. But if you don't do it religiously, you have savings. But if you don't do it religiously, you will not have savings. And you bring out the calculator on your phone, so you will now know how to manage your resources. If you have your phone here, bring out the phone, and you bring out the calculator. The reasons for this slide is to show us how to save that will not impact on other expenses that we have. If I earn 100,000 naira every month, if I save more than 20,000 naira, I will have problem. Are you getting me? Eh? Are you hearing me, please? All of us are women, yeah. Many of us are women, yeah. Our husband will have given us money for upkeep. But I'm telling you that if you follow this template, you have, no matter how small it is. So if you are going to divide your money into 3 places. We have necessary spending. Are you with me? Whether you like it or not, you are going to spend it. You are going to pay for your rent shop. Eh? You are going to pay for your corner space where you do your selling. Abi? You are going to pay for a NEPA bill in your shop. All those ones are worth fixed expenses. Now, you now divide another one I call discretionary expenses. That kind of expenses, we call it in Yoruba, wole bode. I don't know how to call it in English. You know, means that maybe you are going now and your screen of your phone just got broken. Or maybe your shoe just removed on the road. You can just, you can just fix it. Instead of you to be waiting for your husband to help you fix savings. And it is the savings that you now build. You remember I told you that being financially literate is deliberate, and I said it's godly, and I said it's scientific, and that is the portion that we're going to talk now. That means if you save it regularly and to be growing gradually, it will turn big. It will not just, all of us that we are here now, we are not here like this 20, 30 years ago. So it comes gradually. So let's assume somebody earns 100,000 in a month. You have removed your tithes. After you have removed your tithes, you now have 100,000 naira. Are you with me? So, for maybe your daily expenses, you enter motor, you go to office, you do all this. You take 20% of that money as savings. That means if after you have removed your tithes, you need to save 20,000 naira. What did I say? 20,000 naira. Because the reason why you are saving that amount is just that before the end of the month, you will not start borrowing. Hello? Because you don't want to be overly ambitious. If I earn 100,000 and I'm saving 50,000 naira, I will not be going to borrow. Are you with me? So, it is advisable that you save 20% of that money. If you save more than 20%, you give yourself problem. Because the rest will not be enough for you. That means if your sales, after your sales, you have removed whatever, you have 50,000 naira in your of 10,000 naira. If you earn 50,000 naira as a salary and you are doing a job of 20,000 naira, you give yourself problem. And you'll be like that person struggling to push something what. So, and I need to give you good, don't be dismayed that where will I get anyone? Just do according to the capacity that you have, but have the right grammar. It's because of this, it's because of my coverage, you know, that's why I'm trying to put it in a language that we will understand. Are you getting me? Okay. So you put 20% of your earnings into savings. Now, when you have put that 20% of your earnings into savings, don't do a job. Are you hearing me? Don't do a job that everybody would not be collating and it's your turn. The only thing why that thing is advantageous is maybe you have an event or maybe you want to pay your rent at a particular time. Somebody dies in the course of that cycle. How do you make it up? Or if somebody japa and take your money out, how do you say it? So, what is the best way to doing it? I would advise that you put your money in. It's an investment that will give you everyday returns. And to make it easy for you, make sure that that fund, you don't have access to it, that you can easily take from it. Are you with me? Eh? So from today, if you earn 100,000, don't go and save 50,000 naira. You put yourself into trouble. Are you with me? And peradventure, you have a pay rise. Maybe you are earning 100,000 before, and your company has increased your salary to 120. Don't increase your expenses in that way. Are you with me? That is the basics of economics. Don't increase your expenses the way your income has what? Increase. You know? It means that the really Archdeaconry are like, this Prado is nice though. It's not a day job. It's a years of what? Planning. And if you hear that story, when they give their testimony, you realize that it is grand they are here. So you need to identify your goal. Number two is that you need to gather data. What do I mean by gathering data? You need information about what you want to achieve. If you have somebody who is a student now, if you have your child is in GSS 3, SS1 now, you need to begin to plan how you fund their university education from now. If you have somebody who is in SS1, and because now that 2 to 3 years, the person will be entering university. Abi, I used to. There are some people in General Hospital that they have. I don't know if we have nurse here. They have loose mouths. When somebody is pregnant, and maybe the husband is not there or whatever, and they need money, the way those nurses talk, if you listen to their Yoruba, in fact, said, is it now that you now be thinking? So you have to plan your life. You have to plan it. then you need to categorize your expenses. It's not every time that you buy Ashebi. Did you hear me? Don't say, I don't know, I don't know what they will say. Ojumati me, I'll be, don't, it's not do. What I do is to give the person money. Okay, for this program, take, for your, this take, because how many do you want to buy? 5,000, 5,000, 10,000, 5,000. If you put those money into something, it will generate something for you. It's not all. I did not say you should not buy you. Please don't misquote me, but it's not all that you should be what buying. Learn to say no sometimes, so that you can give yourself some break. Many years ago, I have a friend, and he told me something directly. I was not happy. I told my wife. I went to him that, young man, they are going to pay us in another 3 or 4 days' time. Can I borrow money from you? He said, you did not plan yourself. And the thing hits me. And really and truly is the truth. That you did not plan yourself. How will you collect a salary? You need to plan yourself. He gave me the money, but I said, don't worry. He said, Larry, don't matter. I said, don't worry. I find a way around myself. And from that day, it gives me problem to meet people. The people that I meet are my close friends that we know that, can you give me this? I'll transfer it back to you now, 2 hours, or transfer it the next day, that we are good friends. So let's not get to a level, put ourselves in a corner that we will need small amount of money and we'll be begging. That's the essence of this gathering today. And I want us to take it home, take it seriously, live with it, build our life around it, so that we'll be financially literate. In investment, we are deferring, we are suspending our spending to earn a return at a later date. That is what investment means. We are putting in something down so that it can grow. When we go back to it, it would have grown a little bit. And in investment, the higher the risk, the higher the return. The lower the risk, the lower the return. Don't take too much risk as a market woman. Did you hear me? Don't take too much risk that will put you in difficult position. In investment, you have to spread your investment. What did I say? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's what it means. That means you have savings, you have shares, you have another one that will give you rental income. You have another one that will be giving you money. We have bond. So that not all of them will have problem at the same time. Let me teach you the basics of economics. We have what we call money market and what we call what? Capital market. Both of them work in most cases in different direction. Are you with me? So if may be going down, because it is the same money that is in A and that is in what? B. In 2008, there was financial meltdown. Everybody that has only shares as an investment cried. Someone like me, I cried. Because all my investments were only in shares. And in 2008, I was working as a research analyst then with Alan Grange. They gave me more money that time. We made the bonus, and they gave me like 1 million. I was still a young man, a bachelor. That 1 million, and I used to buy other shares. I bought after 1 year, market crashed. That 1 million that time became like 200,000. The only saving grace I had is that money, what I just use, I just look at the stocks now. I said, I've reclassified it as endowment fund for my children. Let it grow. When it goes to a level, maybe I want to do my will, I give them part, this one, take this one, this one, take this one. But if I have some money in other plans at that time, I will not be caught pants down. So it's not. So if money market is rising, that means you place your money, you have treasury bills, you have placement with bank. The capital market will be on a downward trend because people will divert. Market one will be what? Going up. Everybody will now liquidate their investments and go towards equity shares. So we need to be wise. So you put some in investment savings. You put on some in real estate fund. That real estate fund, you might not have your money to be buying land, to be buying houses, but there are some experts that can do it for you, that you give them that money. So in essence, is that you don't focus on a particular one. You put some here, you put some here, you put some here, so that if this one does not work, this one will what? Work. Then you need to be checking your balances every time. If you don't know it, ask your children. They've given it a lot. How much is there? It was 5,000 last week. They check it and it's 7,000. That means it's growing. They didn't understand. When I was growing up, my parents in this church, my daddy can only read Yoruba Bible. My mommy knows. My mommy used to take the bulletin. Yeah, read it for me. I will now read it, they used to have marker and they will be taking their Bible and reading. They are so religious about evening service. They will hold me like this. So yeah, there we are at Oredola. They hold me like this. So yeah, let's go to. You need to have somebody that can help you understand it. So the investment opportunities that are available based on my people here, that I will advise is that placements are the three that I'm recommending for every one of us here. Because those ones are retail investments. That as little as 2,000, as little as 3,000, as little as 5,000, you can invest because of our capacity here. Am I passing an information, please? Next slide. Another thing I want us to talk about is how we manage our debt. Debt is not a bad thing if we use it to achieve something. In the early years of my career, doing some certification is not in Naira. And my salary cannot fund that kind of exams because they're going to pay in USD. So I will borrow. That kind of borrowing makes sense because I'm using it to what? To equip myself. I can borrow to buy land. I can borrow to build house. But don't borrow to do party. Oh. Don't borrow to do second wife. Eh? Are you with me? Don't go and borrow to do party. Don't go and borrow. So you borrow for things that will improve your life, you know. So things that we need to do, let's assume we find ourselves, number one that we can do is to restructure the debt. What did I say? What did I say, please? What did I say, please? If I owe Antonike money, I am supposed to be paying now maybe 10,000 naira every month. And my cash flow at a particular time will not enable me to pay her. You walk up to her. It's not for you to be doing like this. It's you in Shanro. I want to learn Yoruba. You walk up to her and discuss with her. Can I suspend paying this month or next month? Are you with me? Are you hearing me? Can I suspend 2-month payments because I have financial challenge? Are you getting me? And the person will give you approval. Okay, don't worry. You have told me that you cannot pay this month and next month. The reason is that it will give you some breathing space. It's not out of place. So in investment, we have what we call moratorium. What did I say? Moratorium is a place of grace. Eh? So even banks, big organizations, they might fall in the trap. They will meet their creditors and say, you know what? This month, I cannot be able to pay this XYZ. Can I pay half of it? Are you with me? That's mean of restructuring. Can I pay part of it this month and pay the balance later? When you pay part of it, let's assume that you are going to pay somebody 10,000 naira debt every month. And in that month, you have only 10,000 with you. If you pay that person 10,000, what will you have left? Eh? You need to go and borrow again. Instead of you to do that, you walk up to that person in a